The more invisible I become, the more death I have to endure. The beginning of things went as smoothly as Qiao Mu had thought. Under the combined force of two strong enemies, Qiao Mu improved rapidly. As the martial saint's fist came toward Qiao Mu's face, he was able to block it while Elder Qing Zhuo swung his brush toward him. But as time passed, the problem with this approach became clear. Qiao Mu thought to himself there was no change. The martial saint was still the martial saint. Qing Zhuo was still that same old geezer. Their moves were already deeply etched into my mind. But their moves only had form, not spirit. I could not gain any more insight from them. It was just like a student who, after the college entrance exam, was locked in the exam hall and repeatedly did 5 years of college entrance exams and 3 years of mock tests. Even if he got all the answers right, it would only consolidate his foundation and have no real meaning. Moreover, he could not even die. Just like that, Qiao Mu numbly practiced the already familiar moves over and over again. If nothing unexpected happened, he would completely go insane in his own dream space. Qiao Mu said, "Come catch me." As he ran naked, he continued, "If you catch me, I'll let you." He slapped his own behind. Suddenly, Sister Shui shouted, "Qiao Mu!" Qiao Mu was shocked. Sister Sui said, "Put on your clothes quickly." Qiao Mu asked, "Shu, Sister Shu?" Sister Shu replied, "Yes, it's me." Qiao Mu jumped toward Sister Shu, fully exposed, and shouted, "Sister Shu!" Sister Shu began sweating. Qiao Mu hugged her tightly and said, "I finally managed to materialize your appearance. It's so strange. Why didn't I succeed before? You're clearly the person I should be most familiar with. Is it because you always have your eyes covered?" Sister Shu was stunned. Qiao Mu looked her over and said, "Can I actually imagine you this specifically now? I can even imagine the parts I've never seen." Sister Shui, still sweating, repeated, "Never seen." She threw his clothes at him and shouted, "Put your clothes on." Qiao Mu stammered, "I mean eyes. Eyes." He quickly put on his clothes while Sister Shui continued to sweat. "Ah, right. Sister Shu, long time no see," Qiao Mu said. "Long time no see," Sister Shu replied. He pulled her close and said, "Sister Shu, let me tell you, the days here are really not for humans." "Oh?" she responded. "After seeing you, I feel much better." "That's good then. But I still don't know when I can get out, and I still have to practice." A few moments later, they practiced their sword skills. They played in the river. Qiao Mu picked apples from the tree of life. He patiently waited for winter to pass. Autumn passed. Summer passed. There were rainy days, sunny days, and winter. In a small town outside Angshi Pass, Qiao Mu suddenly woke up. He sat up. A system notification appeared. Death rating. Draw the sword and cut the sky number of resurrections remaining this week. 75 skills. And heaven-slaying sword technique, perfection. Demonic blood ignition technique, perfection. When full-body transformation technique, minor completion. Mention Mount Sumeru King Sutra 7th level. In ripple waves, 6-fold waves. In shadow step, perfect. In golden shield iron cloth, perfection. In military spear technique, perfect. And martial saint spirit technique, minor completion iron crotch technique, perfect. In longevity fist, complete strength training. In void shattering finger, perfection. In military martial codex, perfection. And in pure yang limitless technique, perfection. Additional skill points, 200 points. Skill point balance, 200 points. Qiao Mu, shocked, said, "I got resurrected." Suddenly a person approached. Qiao Mu, both shocked and confused, said, "Sister Shu?" Sister Shu slowly walked down the street. Sister Shui said, "Finally found you." Qiao Mu asked, "Am I still dreaming?" Sister Shui knocked on Qiao Mu's head and said, "You're talking about something I don't understand again? Shouldn't you be asking if my surname is Ning?" Qiao Mu said, "It's not a dream." "Sister Shui, why are you here?" As Qiao Mu held her soft, delicate hands, Sister Shui smiled and said, "I naturally came to seek my Tao." She held Qiao Mu's rough, calloused hand in return, then pulled him along and said, "Let's go. Let me take you to find a place to rest first." Qiao Mu thought to himself, 30 years. In the dream, Sister Shu had accompanied me for 30 years. Without her, I don't know if I would have already become a lunatic. Now I've woken up and seen the real person. Is this a coincidence? A few moments later, Qiao Mu thought, is this the small town outside Angshi Pass? Right, my resurrection panel says 4 out of 5. The refresh time has already passed. So I didn't die on the battlefield that day? What happened after I lost consciousness? Suddenly, a horn was blown. Qiao Mu was startled. People began gathering as Hai Siyuan, leading the march, said, Have a safe journey, Master Chow. Chow Mu was confused. The other soldiers shouted, We respectfully see off Hero Chow Shuangsen. We respectfully see off Hero Chow Sen. Chow Mu thought to himself, seeing me off, what a coincidence. Just in time for my funeral feast. Hai Si-wan cried and said, The Iron Lady took out the 1,000-year-old ginseng she had been keeping for General Li, but she never expected it would still fail to save Chow's life. As Mr. Hai said, the innate energy cultivated by Lone City's people through the Mount Sumeru King's scripture was all transferred to Hero Chow, although it extended his life by half a month. Ultimately, heaven's will is hard to defy. He placed a hand on Hai Si-wan's shoulder. Watching from the back, Chow Mu thought to himself, so that was how it was. They didn't know I had a system. They only knew I was dying. Without hesitation, they sacrificed their innate energy and treasures for me. I came to this world alone, and now, unknowingly, there are many more people who care about me. Wang Songge, Wu Qizhang, Sword Immortal, and all of them. Thinking about it carefully, they're all old men. I haven't had a single romantic encounter this whole time. Good thing I had Sister Shu here, so no one can suspect me of being gay. Sister Shui said, This hero also has the surname Chow. What a coincidence. Chow Mu, do you know him? Chow Mu replied, Maybe there's some connection with our main Chow family. Sister Shu asked, Really? Chow Mu said, Sister Shu. She responded, Chow Mu said, This debt I must collect it back from the imperial court for them, with interest. As he turned away, Sister Shu smiled to herself and thought, Chow Mu, you are the smartest fool I've ever met. She walked beside him and said, Let's go. Together. A few moments later, Lord Bao thought to herself, The Western Expeditionary Army bitterly defended for 40 years, and Lone City still exists. The Immortals call it the 100-mile Great Desert, but in reality they use it as a Great Path secret realm. The Immortals established a formation to isolate the inside from the outside, the so-called Forbidden Zone. It was just to extract the heroic souls of the soldiers and generals for their own use, refining them into Dao soldiers. Lord Bao put down her brush and said, Someone! A soldier responded, Here. Lord Bao said, Report to the Imperial Court as soon as possible. The soldier asked, Lord Bao, are you still sending it? In the past half-month, we've submitted 7 memorials and haven't heard anything. The Angxi Pass area has already been allocated by the Imperial Court to the King of Qin's jurisdiction. The report can only be sent to the King of Qin. Lord Bao thought to herself, My lord, the soldier who delivered the memorial is missing. It's very likely he met with misfortune. This King of Qin, even the spies from Tingshao Tower know very little about him. I'm afraid he's inextricably linked to the immortal sects. Suddenly, a voice called out, King. What king? If we're complaining, of course we'll go to the biggest official. Send it to that old man. Emperor Yong. The soldier drew his sword and said, Who goes there? This is a military high-priority area. Unauthorized entry is forbidden. Chow Mu said, My surname is Chow. Lord Bao asked, You? Chow Mu said, I am Chow Shui. I've heard about great-grandfather's matter. Can this memorial be delivered by a member of my Chow family? Lord Bao said, So it's someone from the Chow family. The Chow family members are indeed all loyal and courageous. We are being watched in the army and are unable to compete with immortals. Brother Chow is willing to make this trip. I am eternally grateful. But even going to the imperial capital on horseback at full speed will take 3 days, and it will certainly be full of dangers. I absolutely do not want to see another member of the Chow family get into trouble. Chow Mu took the book. He said, General Li Changge, the soldiers and civilians of Lone City sacrificed their lives to leave behind this faint spark that can uncover the immortal sect's shame. If I can die to pass on this spark, I will have no regrets. As Chow Mu put on his sakat and walked away, Lord Bao watched him go. A few moments later, Chow Mu and Sister Shu rode their horses. Bandits spotted them. The bandits attacked, but Chow Mu and Sister Shui fought back and continued forward. 4th day, Chow Mu and Sister Shui made a campfire and sat together on a log. Sister Shui said, Chow Mu, don't you find it strange? Chow Mu replied that it's the martial artists who are chasing us? That's right, Sister Shui said. Although it's common for immortal sects to employ martial artists to do their bidding, the assassins who have come these past few times were all martial artists above the spirit refining rank. In the past, most martial artists of this type would seek a leisurely post with wealthy merchants. Why are they all risking their lives for the immortal sects now? Chow Mu said, Before, I killed someone related to the Martial Arts Alliance, the Imperial Capital's prison warden, Qin Shi King. and discovered that the martial arts alliance is colluding with the Great Path sect. After the martial saint died, the martial arts alliance began expanding recruitment, gathering high-ranking martial artists who were without a leader. Some of them must have turned to work for the immortal sects. Sister Shui said, "If this continues, won't the immortal sect's power become even stronger? We don't know when we'll be able to deliver the memorial." Xiaomu replied, "It should be soon. It should be delivered tomorrow." King of Qin's manor, a servant said, "My lord, have mercy. We clearly should have gone all out and ensured his death." The king of Qin raised his hand and said, "All right, no need." The servant pleaded, "My lord, please give me one more chance." Lord Arhat said, "There is no more chance. The memorial has already reached the imperial capital." The servant broke into a sweat and turned around. "Lord Arhat, but the Qiao family members were clearly intercepted by us on the road." Lord Arhat said, "Can't you see? We were fooled." The Qiao family members openly walking on the official road to deliver the memorial was just a cover. That memorial has already been submitted by someone else. Minister Hai said, "Your Majesty, there is more to the immortal war 40 years ago than meets the eye. The 100,000 soldiers were not completely wiped out. They have defended for 40 years and are still alive today." A minister scoffed, "What kind of fantasy is Minister Hai speaking of? That place is already a desert. How could there still be soldiers?" Minister Hai must not be himself, worried for his son. He has gone mad. Emperor Yongle thumped the handle of his chair. The immortal war has long been a foregone conclusion. If someone truly defended it for so long, and we did not discover it, then what would we become? A joke? Hai Wuya, I called you back not to be annoyed. Minister Hai Wuya bowed. "Your Majesty, forgive me. This old subject is not talking nonsense. There is indeed a witness who can testify, and he cannot be ignored. He is outside the hall. May I ask your Majesty to grant him an audience?" A servant said, "Summon the witness into the hall." Hai Siwon arrived. A minister asked, "Who is he?" Another said, looking at him, "He does bear some resemblance to Minister Hai." Yet another asked, "Didn't they say Minister Hai's 2 sons died long ago?" Hai Siwon looked at Minister Hai Wuya, and Hai Wuya looked back at him seriously. And earlier that day, Hai Siwon had said to Hai Wuya, "Father, your unworthy son has made you wait so bitterly." Hai Wuya replied, "It's good you're back. It's good you're back." Hai Siwon said, "The grievances of Angxi City, the various vicious methods of the immortal sects. Please, Father, be sure to report them clearly to His Majesty." In the present, Hai Siwon bowed to Emperor Yongke. "Your subject, Hai Siwon, commander of the Great Yan Western Expeditionary Army, greets your Majesty." Emperor Yongke asked, "You are Minister Hai's eldest son? Are you truly a surviving member of the Western Expeditionary Army?" Hai Siwon replied, "Replying to your Majesty, all members of the Western Expeditionary Army are recorded in the registry and hold military identification tags for investigation. Please, your Majesty, see clearly, your subject is indeed Commander Hai Siwon. The Western Expeditionary Army was not completely wiped out. Thanks to the senior from the Qiao family, your subject had the opportunity to meet your Majesty and report the many evil deeds of the immortals." Thank you so much for watching. That's all for now. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to help me grow my channel. Your support means the world to me. Don't forget to leave a comment below. I love hearing from you. Let's keep the conversation going and get those analytics buzzing. Until next time, take care.